My daughter is 20 and in college. She has a dorm on campus, but she doesn't live there. I love my daughter, but she can be a lot. Drama follows her everywhere, and I was hoping she'd grow out of it, but it never happened. Due to this, she's gone through multiple friend groups, and as she puts it, they're jealous, so she doesn't have college friends. Now, I married when she turned 18. I was never married, and her bio mom wasn't in the picture, so this was an adjustment. But I want to clarify that I did the proper steps. I introduced them when I was serious, 2 years in. I spent more time with her. I didn't force them together. We made boundaries for my wife, like punishment falls to me, not her. When she was struggling, I got her into therapy and did sessions with her. She stopped when she hit 18 since I couldn't make her go. My daughter's making it impossible for them to get along. If my wife tells her food is ready, she gets angry she's bothering her. If she doesn't tell her, then she's angry she wasn't invited. It's contradiction after contradiction. I've talked to her, and my wife has tried to do what she asked, and then she was angry that she did that. It's impossible. Now to the main issue. My wife's birthday was yesterday. I put out her presents and cake on the table. I had work too, so I left. I returned, all her presents were opened, and my daughter was eating a piece of the cake. I asked why the heck she would do that. She told me my wife doesn't deserve birthday presents. That's when I had enough and told her if she hated her stepmom so much, she could leave, that she has a dorm, and I don't want to see her until an apology to me and my wife. She started crying and called me a jerk. I've been getting a lot of texts from her, and I'm doubting my decision. Am I the idiot for telling my daughter if she hates her stepmom so much, she's free to leave? Not the idiot. I mean, what the heck? Who does that? I'm doubting my decision? Don't. Your daughter's chosen to take the nuclear path of destruction. Kick her to her dorm. Furthermore, threaten to stop paying for school if she behaves this poorly. Give her selfish butt a wake-up call. Eating someone's birthday cake before it's been cut is a conscious act of hostility. She opened all the gifts and stated your wife doesn't deserve them? I don't think the malicious intent gets any more clear than this. I'm not being sarcastic. She knew exactly what she was doing. She's way too old to be acting like a spoiled child. Sometimes in life we have to learn lessons the hard way, and it looks like she needs to learn her actions have consequences. When I read she has a dorm on campus but doesn't use it, I was like, what the heck? What a colossal waste of money. And now I get it. She would be eaten alive behaving like she does in any other social situation, and probably has. She ran home, where she was allowed to continue being a crap human with no consequence. At 20, with that stunt, her bags would be on the lawn in almost any other house. You're doing her no favors with the excessive understandingness. She's going to have a hard road ahead. Yep, she has no friends because they're all jealous of her, which tells me she likely expressed the same bratty behavior and became a social pariah. OP, an adult woman just deliberately ruined another's birthday because she doesn't like her. This is no longer passive behavior. She actively did something to hurt you and your wife. She isn't a child. Stop treating her like one. Show her that actions have consequences, and remind her you don't have to forgive her for acting out in malice. When my son Josh was 16, he and his girlfriend Chloe told my wife and me that they were expecting a baby. We were reasonably concerned and upset, but supported the two in whatever they wanted to do. They decided they wanted to keep the baby. Chloe's parents were not supportive and kicked her out of the house. We had her move in with us. My wife and I developed a close bond with her as we helped her prepare for the baby. After the birth of their daughter, Bryn, Chloe and Josh lived with us until they were 22. As they were so young, we helped a lot those first few years as they got their GEDs, went to trade school, etc. It was not an easy road, but it made us all closer. I consider Chloe the daughter I never had. They're now 25, and Bryn is a tween. Last year, Chloe's parents got in contact with her and said that they were sorry. They wanted to be in their lives, etc. Josh and Chloe chose to let them into their daughter's life hesitantly. They've played the part of overcompensating grandparents who try to pretend no time has passed. Bryn is healthy, safe, and loved. That's all that matters. They've been standoffish with my wife and me. I feel that they're jealous and maybe insecure about how close we are to Chloe and Brian. We've tried to arrange for times to talk, outings where all four of us can be with Bryn, etc., but they always rebuff. So we've settled to be polite and kind, getting along with them for Bryn, Chloe, and Josh's benefit. Chloe and Josh have recently announced that they're getting married. She asked me to walk her down the aisle. She explained that while her dad is too, she'd love to have her other dad with her. I was touched. She's called me Papa Sam for a while now, and my wife Mama Carol, but I still didn't expect this. I accepted. Now Chloe's dad refuses to walk her down the aisle because I will. He says that I'm encroaching on a precious moment between him and his daughter. I said I would if Chloe wanted me to walk her. Chloe has said she doesn't want me to step down and wants her dad there too. I've said I'll support what she wants. She's remained firm that she wants to find a way to get her dad on board, so we'll walk her. Chloe's mom said I should step down because, of course, Chloe won't ask me to. I commented how I'd be just as much of a deadbeat as they were for so long. This made her and her husband angry. My wife feels I've fueled this drama and should just step down so Chloe can have her parents there. I've said I won't until Chloe asks me to step down. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He just doesn't want to have to explain to people why Chloe's getting walked down the aisle by two people, and he's trying to blackmail her by refusing to walk her down the aisle. And he's throwing a temper tantrum now that you're not abiding by his demands. A guy like this will probably cave in the end. It's clear that he's the kind of person who cares a lot about putting on a good face, and it'll look even worse for him if he's not walking her down at all. Exactly. You've stood up for this girl since she was 16, and I see no reason for you to stop now. You walk her down the aisle and keep being a strong, loving male role model in her life. You and your wife have my total admiration. You're genuinely caring people. I hope the wedding goes well. They are trash parents who do not deserve such a wonderful daughter and granddaughter. It is Chloe's choice, so you should always respect that. I would also suggest you be on guard, as they will try to remove you and your wife's voice in all the wedding planning, and will possibly try to agitate the whole situation, seeking to have you removed from the wedding. Chloe's parents kicked her out at 16. They deserve to feel bad. Let these people choke on their shame. Congrats to your son and Chloe, as well as you and yours. I'm a single mom to Emmy, a young grammar schooler. Emmy's my only child. She's been sick since she was a toddler, and if I'm going to be honest, she likely won't make it to 10. Her dad left us when she got sick. Emmy spends 1 week in the hospital and then a week at home. Because of this, the last time I was able to send her to school was 2 years ago, when we were able to do preschool 3 hours a day, 2 days a week, and they still wore masks. Now the only time she's around other kids is when she's in the hospital. Emmy hates sharing her toys, so I try not to make her do it. Usually when we see her cousins, I'll buy something like a big pack of chalk and a gallon of bubbles, and I tell her it's for everybody, but that's the only time she'll share. My sister and her 2 daughters, 1 year younger and 1 year older than Emmy, are living with us temporarily. It's been difficult for everyone. At first I switched rooms with Emmy, and we put all 3 girls in the master, but Emmy hated sharing rooms and said the girls were constantly touching her stuff, so we switched back, and I put the girls in the spare room with their mom. My sister was complaining that the room was too crowded, so she's staying on a cot in my office, but apparently that's also uncomfortable, so she wants the girls to share again. My sister doesn't pay any rent. Her husband sends $500 a month to help pay for their groceries, and she helps with Emmy while I'm working. My job is pretty flexible, so I can watch her while I work. They've also complained that I take Emmy on day and weekend trips without them. Emmy just spent the week in the hospital, and we came home on Saturday. My niece's beds were moved into Emmy's room, and her toys were everywhere. I confronted my sister, and she said Emmy isn't even using her room or her toys half the time, and that little girls should be sharing with each other. I told her that Emmy had already made it clear that she didn't want to share her room or toys, and that our room needed to be the way we left it by the end of the day. She said I was being unfair, so I snapped at her that I would prioritize my kid over her ungrateful self and her kids, and that if she can't get over my kid not sharing, she needs to find somewhere else to live. They did fix Emmy's room, but they haven't been talking to us. At this point, I'm thinking about kicking them out anyway. Am I the idiot for telling her she needs to get over my kid not sharing or move out? Not the idiot. They're not talking to you? Really? In your house that they're living in rent-free? The cheek. Kick them out. This isn't sustainable, and you and your daughter need to have a calm space where boundaries are respected. In addition to whatever her emotional reasons are for not sharing, I would think germ reasons might apply too if sicknesses are worse for her. Not just rent-free. Brother-in-law is sending $500 a month for food, which is $1.85 per person per meal. I've never really done the math on my own food budget, but I'm going to take a wild guess that it costs more than that to adequately feed someone, which means OP is supplementing their food in addition to providing shelter, utilities, and entertainment. And they have the nerve to demand more rather than be grateful for what they're already getting? Sister-in-law needs a swift kick out the door. I can't even with this situation. They just took over the girl's room? Who does that? For that alone, it would have been a very long farewell. No one will miss you. I don't blame you, OP. You're just trying to manage your daughter's remaining time as best you could. Your sister is a massive idiot. She has not taught her own daughters a thing about respecting people's boundaries, and that makes it more stressful for your daughter as well. You're doing what's right for your daughter's well-being. The only thing I think would make you the idiot here is your sister's children. Why do they live apart from their father? Is he and your sister on a break since you refer to him as her husband still? Regardless, kicking out your adult sister would be one thing, but if that further uproots her daughters, I would say you're a bit of an idiot. They're dealing with an issue with my sister's stepson, and he can't be around the girls now. If my sister has to go, her girls do too. I don't have the time to get them to school before work, pick them up in the afternoons, keep up with their activities, and I don't know what I would do with them every other week when Emmy's in the hospital. Sister doesn't work. She says the kids are too young, so she has no one but me. My brother is the type of person who decides to be their authentic self without anyone's opinion. He expresses this a ton with clothes. He'll wear outrageous stuff often, and his job is online, so he wears his clothes often. Think Lady Gaga types of clothes. One day he's in a dress, and the next he's wearing a skin suit. This wasn't a problem until recently, when he started to drop his son off for carpool. My daughter goes to the same school, and I used to drive them both. Ever since he began to do this, he just embarrassed his kid. My daughter refuses to carpool with him and wakes up early for the bus. Now, what I got from my daughter is he's known as the kid with the weird dad and is bullied for it. She also informed me that she would not be helping him since she doesn't want it coming onto her, since it's her uncle. I'm a little disappointed she won't stand up to them, but I don't blame her for not wanting to get involved. It was bad today, and my brother called me, ranting that my daughter should stand up for him. I told him the reason his kid is bullied is due to him, and he needs to send him on the bus or stop embarrassing him. He's angry. I blame him for being against his artist freedom. He thinks I'm being a huge jerk. Am I? Not the idiot. It's not ideal that he can't wear whatever he wants without people making fun of his kid, but that's the world we live in. If he's not willing to do something to stop what's happening, then he's a failure as a parent. The dad needs to commit to showing up like 50 straight days in jeans and a hoodie. If he gets and stays boring, the kids will forget. Later, when it's died down, his son can say that his dad was doing it to embarrass him or something, to explain it away. I disagree. It's too late. Even if your brother dressed in the most discreet way possible from this point forward, your nephew will always be known as the boy with the weird dad. Kids have long memories, and are incredibly cruel. And him trying to put the responsibility on your daughter here is bananas. Does he think a kid 2 years younger than his own can stop the other kids from mocking his child? Does he just not remember school? I disagree with your take. OP, you're the idiot. I'm not going to put any blame on the little girl because she's got to look out for her. But OP, you're raising a little girl who will not stand up for what's right because it's inconvenient to her. Would you advise your daughter to stand up for a family member who was wearing an anime shirt and got bullied? What if the dad works as a sanitation worker? Would the kid deserve the bullying because it's not a fancy job? I think what people fail to understand is that there is a time and a place for dressing. The same reason why most schools and workplaces have a dress code. Do you want to wear glamorous, strange fashion clothes? If you're going out with friends, go all in, buddy. If you're going to an office job or a school, maybe not. My friend Mary is due in 4 weeks. Our friend Shelley has organized a brunch for this coming weekend on Saturday as a baby shower thing. Before she did this, she asked for dates and places we could go. I told her that I absolutely couldn't do Saturday. My husband has to work, so we can't watch our baby. And my parents would be flying back to their country, so I'll need to drop them off at the airport, etc. Shelley told me it definitely wouldn't be that day. She's also chosen a restaurant a 3-minute walk from her and a 40-minute drive from me, which is fine, but it obviously means my commute would be nearly 90 minutes altogether. I told her I couldn't come for the above reasons. Immediately, the guilt tripping started about how, as the only mother in the group, I had to be there for Mary. Shelley herself has an infant. She even said I should tell my husband not to work or my family to delay their flight so I could go. I told her I couldn't make it, and I was sorry, but she knew the score from the start. She's been bombarding me with text, even from her husband's number, saying I'm selfish and all I care about is my kid and I'm not supporting women. I think she's full of nonsense. She knew my limits and now she's acting like it's new info. Am I the idiot? I politely declined an invitation to a baby shower due to understandable inconveniences, and my friend became a psycho. Am I the idiot? Come on. It's totally reasonable to ask someone to change their flight or skip work to attend a baby shower. Psycho is right. You're not the idiot. Shelley picked the one day you couldn't come. I don't know what her deal is. Just make sure you let Mary know the deal so Shelley can't martyr herself at the shower to make you look bad. Ask to make separate plans with Mary for lunch to give her a shower gift and talk about Psycho Shelley. She's saying I'm selfish and all I care about is my kid. Hold on. She's trying to guilt trip a mother for putting her own child ahead of others? OP, some people just can't be reasoned with. She chose the date on purpose to make you feel bad. Block her. Tell your friend who's having the baby the real story and plan a date with your friend to celebrate her pregnancy.